Akon of Alpha Centauri. Akon, a scientist from Alpha Centauri, earned notoriety in the UFO and ET communities upon Earth in the 1950s for having a child with lightworker Elizabeth Clara of South Africa. In her book, From Beyond the Light Barrier, written about her life with Akon and the birth of their child, Ailing, Elizabeth describes in detail how the Alpha Centaurians live, about their technology and their concern for Earth and her inhabitants. An interesting book, I highly recommend reading it. It is an eye-opener. So today Akon offered to be of service to us and to help relay information to Earth. I had been intending for a while to speak to him, as apparently Ivo and myself are friends of he and his mate, who was Elizabeth Clara on Earth during the 1950s. The question at hand was, how do extraterrestrials make contact with us? What do they take into consideration and how do they go about achieving physical contact? We all have heard how the nasties do it, just abduct you off the road while you're traveling around after midnight, after they paralyzed your body, or come into your bedroom and take you while you're sleeping so they can run experiments on you, impregnate you, or take semen or other DNA samples. As a comparison, how do the benevolent extraterrestrials make conscious contact with us? Akon: yes, Sharon, you are aware that some of these abductions are with your consent at a higher level. I am. But it's not with our consent at this level, the conscious level. And that, I'm assuming, is what you're trying to achieve. Akon: yes, we have to approach you cautiously. Because we are trying to gain your cooperation, we must earn your trust first of all. Makes sense. And we have to also be sure that our trust in you is not misplaced as well. Aha. So how did you, for example, go about gaining Elizabeth's trust? She was, as you, a light worker. They have been on Earth for many years, helping either the Earth or our civilizations. During the 1950s, when she was on Earth, there was threat of nuclear war and annihilation of your entire planet, which thankfully, the Galactic Federation has managed to keep under control. So many species were sending light workers to Earth to gain access to their human flesh, sperm, and ova in order to retain specimens of your DNA. We were fearful that you would not be existing at this time in your history. Yes, I'd heard it wasn't sure until 2012 that we were going to win this war of light against the dark. We did everything we could to try to change your world's fortunes, and you are aware of some of the efforts. The diplomatic Venusians who visited the White House in the 1950s to speak with the president and his men. Attempts were made in Russia and China as well, but these do not seem to be as evident to the Westerners. So I am telling you. There was disabling of the nuclear armaments of all major Earth powers on your planet. This is still ongoing. They are all being watched. There was the underground resistance, which was started in the 1970s with the help of primarily the Pleiadians. However, there are more groups involved in this, either in person or with technologies. We have been very busy with your Earth since the decision was made to intervene. Your people have been largely unaware of it because we have worked in the background. We are not to disrupt the flow of your lives. Awareness of extraterrestrials would have been a major disruption, and this was not allowable. Now is the time for contact to be made on a wider basis, and so we are speaking. I see also you are to be contacting Sharina of Telos. Also Xarian of the 6th dimension desires to speak with you. Looks like I'll be busy. That's good. So, your question of physical contact. Will you take me on your ship? Ivo's slow in getting around to this. LOL. I would gladly do so. When you are in the appropriate location, we will meet. That's so exciting. We know each other. Well, you're going to have to jog my memory, Akon, because I don't remember. It will come. For many, these memories will return soon. When attempting physical contact with members of your species, we must be cautious. The correct temperament is sought after. A level of maturity and slowness to react is ideal. We realize you all have the temperament of the reptilians inbred or taught to you, and the energies which proliferate this are still being broadcast to your Earth, so caution is always in our minds. Me, if somebody starts going ballistic or overreacts, you can always calm them down, can't you? We can, but we prefer the experience to be as pure for you as possible. We are also not keen on reports being made of how you were mind controlled by aliens. We try to avoid using any of the tactics that are used upon you by your controllers, because we do not wish to be seen as such. Makes sense. So you're looking for specific type of person, or that person has agreed to do this before they were born, or you've been talking to them on board ships at night time discussing how this will happen, or you have a wide knowledge of many things. My congratulations. Thank you. I study, and Ivo tells me. He's almost complained of my curiosity as being rampant. Curiosity is good in changing times. So which do you do then? We prefer that the person has agreed to help us before birth, as Elizabeth did. However, the second option, we seek out our volunteers on ship. LOL. I can see all of my friends who are viewing this video telling themselves they're going to volunteer next time they go to sleep. They want to meet you. We want to meet them as well. We take our time in the first instance. With Elizabeth, it was a case of her seeing my ship several times, whereby she developed an interest in who I was. I had allowed her to see me in the ship, so she knew I was a human being. So the first tactic is visual. Making visual contact with the ship, or making eye contact when the ship is allowed to get close enough to the Terran. This is always determined by fear, because we can sense if you fear the situation or not. If there is no fear, we can come closer or even land. I have no fear. We will meet. Do not fret. With Elizabeth there was the instance of the tornado which was coming towards her house, and my appearing to save it from ruin by destabilizing its path and in effect towing it away. This was done by meeting its energy level and acting as if our ship was in effect its cloud. Low energy for a spaceship. We have ways of splitting our energy out into lower and higher energies. There was no harm to come to my ship. The next tactic we use after visual, fear monitoring and eye contact is following. If we are not permitted a landing, we tend to follow the person or stay within their vicinity. The constant appearance of a spaceship allows you to become familiar with it, and the lack of aggressive behavior on our part indicates to you that we are trustworthy. I see. Landing is the next step. Speaking to the Terran hopefully happens at this point. If not, we will simply land and allow the person to observe us. We will appear friendly and inviting. Are you kidding? You'd have to peel me off the ship. I'd be running at you with milk and cookies. Yes, most welcoming. We enjoy some of your Earth foods. Once we can open the door after we have assessed that the person is not carrying a weapon of sorts, we then will have a quick conversation. And we will land and do the same again and again, however many times it takes for the person to become familiar with us and overcome their sense of anxiety. Yes, fear will occur at various times throughout the process. Perhaps there is no fear at the sighting, but once we are in front of the person, they may then become anxious. You see? Yes. So you want to deal with someone who's at a higher vibration, of course. Of course. We would prefer they be at our vibration, but you are not yet. So we will take the highest possible. You are more emotional than we are, you have a greater range of emotions, which yes, Ivo has explained to you that emotions are more limited the higher you vibrate. So when the intended has seen the ship once, we establish telepathic contact to get them to meet with us again, by giving them a feeling that they want to go to this place or another. We will be there waiting for them. Each Terran who is contacted has specific jobs we wish them to do for us. One job is arranging meetings with other friends, or as in the case of Howard Menger, yes, which is documented, to help by purchasing items necessary to help us integrate into your societies unnoticed. Yes. There are some of us galactic humans among you. Me, I think I've seen one lady. Yes, we are there. If you wish to make contact with us, simply have that desire. You may not be aware that you are dealing with an ET, but ask anyway. It helps to be able to sense energy. That is a giveaway, a sure clue you are dealing with an ET. Okay, thank you Akon. Maybe we can talk about some of the other things in the book that Elizabeth wrote, like your spaceship or the mothership you took her on. We could do that. Most surely. Me, I have a feeling that my implant is making you sound like Ivo, but I can tell I'm talking to someone else. But the language used is similar to the way Ivo speaks. Yes, that is one limitation of the technology, it makes no differentiation in speech, although yes, what you sense of me is different. But that you cannot relay. Me, what I can see is you don't use contractions either. Neither does Ivo. But Ashtar does. He'll say, don't, where you and Ivo say do not. There are minor differences. It'll be interesting when I channel Sharina, to see how a feminine energy comes across, or Eaxarian, who is androgynous. We will try to work on this technology and give you the latest upgrade. Me, don't start. That sounds very Microsoft to me. I bid you adieu. Me, thank you Akon. Much love.